Hello and welcome to today's Time to Grow. A book again today, and this is a little big book, I always call it. It's a really thin book, and it's called The Power of Awareness. It was written by a guy called Neville Goddard, who I'm guessing you've probably never heard of. So let me tell you a little bit about him. He was born in 1905 in Barbados. He was a Barbadian, and he went to the States when he was about 17 or 18 to become an actor, and he acted for a few years. But then he became fascinated by the power of the mind, and he developed his knowledge of the power of the mind to an extent that by the late 40s and throughout the 50s, he used to make a great living by touring the States and lecturing on the power of the mind, about the stuff that we talk about on Time to Grow, about the way that we think defines our reality. And really the stuff that Neville Goddard really focused on was the stuff that preceded, I guess, The Secret and the Law of Attraction, because what he talks about is all based on the Law of Attraction. So let me just read you an excerpt from chapter 5 of his book that's titled the chapter's titled The Truth That Sets You Free. So he says, since your life is determined by your assumptions, you are forced to recognise the fact that you are either a slave to your assumptions or their master. To become the master of your assumptions is the key to undreamed of freedom and happiness. You can attain this mastery by deliberate conscious control of your imagination. You determine your assumptions in this way. You form a mental image, a picture of the state desired, or the person you want to be. Concentrate your attention upon that feeling, that you are already that person. First, visualize the picture in your consciousness. Then feel yourself to be in that state as though it actually formed your surrounding world. By your imagination, that which was a mere mental image is changed into a seemingly solid reality. So how many times have we heard things like that before? I was thinking as I was reading through this and preparing to do this video, that the stuff that we talk about on Time to Grow, there are so many interconnections, there are so many central tenets to the stuff that we talk about, because essentially what we're talking about is simple, but it's difficult to implement because it all hangs around, it all depends on the ability to control our mind, not from our current situation, but from the future that we desire. So it's all about our imagination and all about putting ourselves, actually, first of all, seeing clearly who we want to be and what we want to attract into our lives and what we want to achieve into our lives. But then putting ourselves in that place of having already achieved it and feeling the feelings that surround it. Because essentially, we attract into our lives more of who we already are. Not what we want, it's more of who we already are. And so the more that we can become that person who has the things that we want, the more likely we are to get them. Just go and have a think for a few minutes on who you really want to become and put yourself there and feel the feelings connected with it.